I'm here today with Mark Mulch. I want to do a moment of silence for your dad that passed away. Um, who inspired you to make music?
Um, Actually, my brother-in-law played guitar since him and my sister were dating. Since I was about 7 or 8 years old, maybe even a little bit younger, and just always watched him playing guitar for the family and parties and stuff, and would play my little plastic guitar along with him. And then finally, when I hit about 8 or 9 years old, I asked for a real guitar and to take guitar lessons, and the guitar lessons were very boring because they were teaching me "Mary Has a Little Lamb," had a little lamb, and I wanted to play the Beatles. So my brother-in-law started teaching me chords, and I kind of started writing songs right from the get-go.
Okay. As a solo artist now, how would you describe the music that you created?
The new music has elements of the Mulch Brothers. Being a founding member along with Nick, and but then starts to kind of bring up back my a little bit more of my southern rock background. My probably my biggest influence, outside of the already mentioned Beatles, would be people like John Mellencamp and Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen. Start to hear more of that stuff happening. Not being so concerned about being country, especially since now country music is so broad. I feel like as long as you're telling a good story and you got good lyrics, strong lyrics and stuff, you could still be in that, put in that country category if you need to be.
Okay. What's the best advice you've been given as a musician?
Don't quit. Never give up, which is true. Got friends who I played with in the past that, wish they had never given up on it and, or want to be back at it. And, I think, I've never given up, and I've had success because of that. And, the other bit of advice I've been given in the last, maybe, 8 years, especially the last 15 that I've been in Nashville, is to write with anyone and everyone, but also to write with younger artists who are maybe in their teens that really seem like they really want to do it, and try to write with those people, try to mentor those people, and you can wind up having some pretty big success with someone who started that young.
We're gonna play your song off your album, "Living It Up." The song's "Living It Up."
Yes, sir.
You and I, we were thick as thieves, rolling through town, wild and free. Nothing could stop the dream we had. You were always there to make me laugh. Whatever happened to those crazy kids? Now carrying the world, we just did what we did. You had a gypsy soul, do you remember that? Baby, what do you think about getting back to when you were riding my GTO, singing along to the radio? We were living it up, oh, living it up. As long as I had your hand, oh, you and I, no matter where we go, we were living it up, oh, living it up, living it up, yeah.
Did you feature anybody on the album?
I was really lucky. I wrote that song with Keely Raquel in Nashville, and that track features some of the best session musicians in Nashville. Near Z on drums, and Jerry McPherson on guitar, and Mark Hill on bass, and Jim Kimmel on guitar. It's the all-star session band right there. So, also Mr. Adam Cunningham on those backing vocals, those big backing vocals.
And you got one song on there, Static.
Static, yeah. Static features my co-writer for that song, Melissa Miller.
Who would you like to collaborate with in the future?
John Mellencamp. But I don't know. Working on something right now. Working on an EP, probably a five song EP, and I'm not sure yet if there'll be a collaborator or not. We're working with and producing an artist by the name of Jessie Pugh, and one of our co-writes is going to be on the EP. So there might be a way to have her on that, but we'll see.
Okay. How do you feel that the internet has impacted the music industry?
I think, like a lot of things that are new to any industry, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. And I think the best parts are that we're way more in control of how our music is distributed. We can put out almost anything we want to when we want to. I just released a Christmas single this past December, and it just amazes me that it can be in the studio one day, do some video while we're recording, get it mixed, get it mastered. Within 2 weeks, it's, distributed worldwide through all the different channels, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, on and on, Amazon, all the different ways to get out there. And I particularly use a company and a distribution avenue called DistroKid. So, to be an independent artist these days, you really have total control, which is great. And the bad part is, streaming services and things like that, not really paying the royalties that they should and whatnot. You really have to have a lot of content out there, and you have to get your streaming up pretty high to be able to make some money back. You get something like a full-length album, a 10-song album of mine, costing you about $25,000. You need different ways to make that money back, whether it be through touring or licensing, getting your songs on film and TV, But as far as the internet, I think it's a good thing, especially for independent artists, because we can, can release our own music worldwide at the touch of a button, literally.
Where have you performed?
Oh boy, everywhere. Yeah, between the Mulch Brothers and now my solo project, we've been around the country, quite a few times, and have a pretty good stronghold in like the East Coast, both North and South, and then kind of Middle America. We've been out to the West Coast twice. I'd like to get back out there after this next EP comes out, and then as a solo artist, my as far as touring goes, my big goal is to get over to Europe. So hopefully once I get this EP out and have an album and a half's worth of material and some of the older Mulch Brothers songs together, we could hopefully get something going in Europe. That would be great, to tour like Germany and England and maybe Ireland and stuff like that. So we'll have to see if we can make that happen.
Where can people see your music, videos, and events?
Okay. markmulchmusic.com, and then I'm at markmulchmusic on all the social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. I'm more of an Instagram guy than Facebook, and then also Twitter. And and like I said, the music is available on any download or streaming site that you use. It's distributed to every single one of them. So whether you're a Apple Music person, Spotify, or you get YouTube, there's a couple of videos up on YouTube. If you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be great.
Well, thanks for being on the show today. I really enjoy having you and talking to you.
Well, thank you. It's good to hear you again.
Yeah.
All right.
I think last time was like in 2009 at the
I know,
CMA
right?
Fest.